I did not think I was gonna make it. I felt like I wanted to use, I wanted to drink. I was in painful places, and a lot of the times, emotions I was going through were, in my mind, where I felt were too hard to deal with. So if you're in that darkness right now, if you're in that pain right now, I want you to stay with me. So it's going to take time. It's going to take energy. It's going to take uncomfortability. It's going to take a lot of these things that you're not going to want to go through. But the way that you look at it is it's like you're going to, like any kind of change is not easy. And so what I did, like I'm at the darkest moments, I would say was when I was on the darkest moments was when I was at my place and I was in my bathroom and I wasn't sleeping properly. I wasn't sleeping for days, and I was looking in the mirror and I just seen distortion inside my reflection. And it was things that were, I guess, a lot of pain. Like I felt like I was empty inside. And I had a friend that I would go hang out with on a regular, and I knew his parents were in recovery. They're in sobriety, and they offered to take me to meetings, and at that time I was not ready, but I remember that one morning I just called up and I was hurting. I was in pain, and I made that call, and I was talking to his stepdad, and I was letting him know what was going on, and frick, I was tearing up. I was crying, and then I ended up over there, and I just was like, man, like I don't know how I got here. I don't know how I could change this. I felt like I was in total despair, and I felt so hopeless. And so I think for me, the smallest move at that time was I felt like I broke down, like I emotionally broke down, and it was painful and it didn't feel good. But then it was what I did with it after, because like what I usually like to do with it is that's when I like to drink. That's when I like to find something to use to numb the pain. And so instead what I did is I talked to somebody. I picked up the phone, and I was fortunate. And so there was times I tried to do this on my own and in early sobriety, and I've tried it. I felt like I went insane. I was in my head quite a bit. All of my emotions were flying. I didn't feel people understood me. So I started isolating myself more and more. And because people did not understand me, or I felt that way, my thoughts just started manifesting, obsessing, and getting into this whirlwind of downward spiral thinking, and I was not doing well. And so I think we're in a world now today, like one of the benefits that we can have is that we can look into and find people, and we can find information that could help us. And so I think it's like if you're in that painful place, you're in a good place to do something different, to try something different, to change. And it could be that for you. That's how you could look at this. Even though it's not feeling good, even though it's not ideal, and it's not something that it's like, oh, great, this is feeling great, or and, and that's the thing is like going through that reconstruction of sobriety and learning to clean up all the wrongdoings, the wreckages, and being open and honest with people that were strangers. These weren't people, they weren't family or friends. Like over time they became like friends, and some of them became like family, but it was a gift to be able to open up, and not only open up to these people, but also they had that same commonality. And that's what I found was something that saved me, because like before, like I could be in a room full of people and I'd feel so alone, and because of that feeling I just kept isolating. So if you're in that place today, just do something different. You have the opportunity to try something different. And like if it's right now, it might be where you're wanting to drink or you're wanting to use. And I hope you don't. I hope you decide have a different choice. Maybe reaching out to a friend or a family member or somebody and just tell them you're struggling. Like someone that cares about you. And, if those people aren't available, if there's nobody available in your life for that, go online and look up support groups for addiction. See what you find. There's so many different things out there that find what works for you. Find what's good is best for you. Also, like I say, like if if it feels uncomfortable going in a group setting and those things, go to the group, and if it's one of those sharing groups, just tell, if they ask you, just tell them you want to listen. But if you're feeling courageous enough, tell them you're struggling, tell them you need help. Tell them you need to talk to somebody else, and go from there. And so, so I find if you're able to go through that pain and that discomfort, just think of it as like numbing. You're numbing out your emotions with the drugs and the alcohol. And those feelings don't just disappear. They're gonna be there, and it's not gonna always feel good. Like, it's not gonna feel good getting sober, or getting off drugs, or not at first. And it's because a lot of those times those emotions have been pushed down or pushed to the side, and they need to come out. And the emotions that we're running away from, so it could be like a lot of this common ones are shame and guilt, feeling uncomfortable, feeling full of fear. Like, if you're naturally running away from them and you want to get away from those emotions, you're gonna have to face them. You're gonna have to face the thoughts behind them. But I'll tell you one thing: once you face those, like, you'll be free. And so, but it's going to take time. It's not going to happen all in one day. But all you could do, you could just take one day at a time. Sometimes it's going to feel like you're going to take 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. And there's going to be times where you're going to see people that maybe you used to party with or drink or drug, or there's going to be places that remind you of that. And you're going to be like, oh man, I just want something so bad. And that obsession will kick in. And so that's where it's going to take moments at a time, getting past that. And then doing things that you don't usually do. And like I said before, it could be reaching out to family, friends, loved ones, going into a group. You could also do a lot of group stuff online. Like, you just go on Zoom and you're able to access like any of these things. And so, if you're somebody that's needed help accessing these things, just like go to Google, go to addiction groups, type in sobriety groups, anything like that. And like, don't get me wrong, like I know there's people, they might have negative experiences with these groups, and maybe that's not your group. Maybe you need to go to another group. Maybe you need to connect with other people. Maybe they weren't really your people. You got to be wary of that too. And finding people that you go and look for people in these groups, and you look and you see, what is it that this person has that I want, and you find a few people like that. The more people, the more contacts you make in these groups, the better. The more people you reach out to, like people that are, and they get sober, and they get, they have lives, they have families, they got responsibilities. And so it's good to get, the more people you get to be able to support you, the better. And that's how I found people I understood, is like, I went to groups and I listened to people. I listened to people that had the same struggles, the same pains, the same hurts. Like, I met a good friend of mine who lost his dad when he was young, and I did too, and we got to bond over that. And then I met people that they had good relationships, and they had families and those kind of things, and so those are the things that attracted me. And they also had multiple years, and there's people that were enjoying life and they were happy, and so I found that to be quite useful too. And then I found people that were that they did not, there was no bullshit in them. Like, they said what they meant to say, and they were honest about it. And even though it came off as some kind of way and it didn't feel good, they were honest about it, and they taught me to be that way. So I wouldn't be hiding behind like the fake smile, or these the fake laugh. And like, I started learning to be being myself, and also learning to be okay not being liked by everybody. That was another big thing. Nobody taught me this. Now I'm teaching you. Follow for daily tools.